Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Wargroove. Today we're going for 2 missions. 2 missions should be a good video length, I think. Let us advance the storyline here, as our party slowly grows. Mercia's journey is interrupted by an enemy she thought she left behind. Is it Sedge? Is Sedge back again already? Or are we talking about Valder? We're talking about Valder. Or no, Ragnar. So we're in the Lost Leagues. I've never... Oh good, she's got flying units. Whoa! Death from above!
Oh no.
You again.
It's me!
Too right, it's me again. And this time, I have vampires. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna... Is there a slider for just her? She needs to be turned down like 25%. I can't lose! Who is this clown? Shut up, weed! I will annihilate you! Alright, so she has a new unit. There's a lot of units left, right? When we look at the damage matrix, there's a lot of units we haven't seen yet. This won't be like last time! Not while my vampires rule the skies! Vampires are aeronauts. Strong, fast, and airborne. Exactly! You've got no hope! Luckily, alchemists and ballistas both excel as anti-air units.
I agree.
Correct, Mercia. Alchemists even have the ability to heal our own units. Like mini Mercias. Okay, that seems useful. Alright, so, somebody pointed out to me that I was complaining about the Wargrooves not being listed on the commander stat page, which is like obviously the most important thing about a commander. It turns out that if you open up the codex and then you flip past all of the bio information, there is a page in there that describes what the Wargrooves do. So, this is very good, very important. Really bad place for it. Maybe the worst place that it could be while still actually technically being in the game. It really ought to just be on this screen, especially considering that as far as I can tell, all of the commanders have identical combat stats, right? Like, once you know what a commander is, this stuff doesn't differentiate the commanders. It's just the Wargroove that is different between them. So I really wish that was placed a little bit more prominently and obviously, but hey, at least it's in there, right? So let's have a look at our new guy. A powerful unit built to combat air threats. Critical hit when defense is 3 or above, and can heal allied units for 20%. Extra effective against... not against cavalry, but extra effective against archers and swords, and this is spears, right? Also vulnerable to archers and spears, so we gotta pay attention to the position of the enemy archers. It is a melee attacker, very fast moving. Seems good. And our ballista, same range limitation as the trebuchet, but actually I think 1 point more range. Critical hit at minimum range, so when something's 2 spaces away. Unable to move and attack in the same turn. Okay. Okay, I see what we're doing here. We have a pair of barracks, we have a bit of money to start with. We need to go and grab ourselves some captures. So notice we did have the option to heal there, and it cost money. That's good to know. I guess that makes sense. If they could heal without it costing money, then you would just, you would never want to actually heal at a building. Ooh, alright, how are we gonna do this? We want our alchemists to be down here to deal with this. This is not their stronghold. This is just a tower. Recruits new air units, reinforces injured units. But in order to win the game, we have to kill this thing. Or Ragna, which I suspect is more likely because she seems to be very aggressive. I don't know if the enemy commanders actually have different AI or not, but she seems very aggressive. How fast are you? 5 move, I assume? Yep, 5 move and the wing move type, which is worth noting because we haven't seen that a lot. It's important to remember that terrain has different types or different movement reduction rates for different movement types. So they fly through forest very quickly. Okay, they're at 1 point of movement through all of the terrain that we can see here. Well, we're definitely going to want to roll over here. And what does it cost me to buy a ballista? 800. A little bit less than a trebuchet, and it kind of seems like they're better a little bit. I don't know, we'll see. The trebuchet, the list of things they're effective against is probably a big part of what makes them valuable. In particular, buildings. Yeah, ballistas are not valuable against buildings. I don't know what that is. You cannot click on these images to get that information, which is a little bit of a shame. Eventually we'll know. Yeah, I don't know what type of unit that is. Alright, so let's buy some stuff. We probably are going to want... What are they showing? They have a knight and archer. They're going to be buying a lot of these guys. These guys are effective against archers and not vulnerable to them. These are two different unit types and we don't know what they both are. Okay. So archers are useful but dangerous. Why don't we just buy some normal units? Just some stuff to kind of clog up the board and make it complicated for the enemy to come in. Are these... They're not vulnerable to spears. They're good against knights. And they're good against swordsmen, but everything's good against swordsmen. I guess I'm just gonna buy another alchemist at the southern one, and then we'll grab a battle pup over here. We probably will not need this battle pup to actually capture anything. So we're gonna have to deal with non-stop incoming flying units from this lower region while pushing over this way to capture things. I think this alchemist up here should have the move to capture that village. He's gonna have to deal with enemies shortly afterward. Okay, that's the thing I didn't bother to note. Can the flying units capture stuff? No. I would have expected that they could not. That makes sense to me. Who is getting the capture here? Kind of want the alchemist to move further. Yeah, the commander can't really move much further than this anyway, so...
I'm going in.
I'll have the alchemist end their turn in the woods. Hoping not to leave myself open to anything coming in and reducing our strength by too much. Do I want to send the dog along to support this alchemist? Or do I want to send the dog down here to help? I think... Let's go here. We'll kind of split the difference. The dog can still come south if it makes sense to come south, but it'll be a little bit of a slow approach. And then I might just buy a couple of pikes. I like pikemen a lot. This is maybe a situation where they're just too slow to matter. But let's buy a couple of swords. Just save up a little bit of money. These guys are fast enough that they can contribute meaningfully. We might be able to get a crit off with this guy, potentially. This I'm not too worried about. Especially with our alchemist giving us the ability to heal in the field. Oh, we don't get a counterattack, though. Even though these guys attack at melee range. That's worth noting. And they're actually pretty good against buildings. Alright, well, I don't think we have the movement necessary to... Yeah, with this guy here. We especially don't. I was going to say we don't have the movement necessary to get the crit, but apparently we're so effective it's not going to matter. Alchemists are really good at killing these guys. So what do we want to do with the hero? Like, here we have a crit. Let's knock this out. That's a pretty obvious one. I think we're going to use the alchemist to knock out the two flyers and just recapture the building with the hero. Ah, how did you... Whatever. I have loads more where that came from. It does seem to be the case that we're just going to have to deal with a bunch of these guys coming in. I'm assuming that you literally can't attack the flyer. Oh, that's a problem. So, it doesn't really matter what order I do this in. You guys are just gonna get the job done. Yeah, okay, a lot of my units actually can't attack the flying units. That's probably on the damage matrix, right? They're probably listed as zeros. Oh, that's it. Now I'm really mad. Boy, if she gets any madder, she's just going to keel over right there. Maybe that should be our strategy. Just keep killing the flyers until she has an aneurysm or something. Let's see. You have the ability to attack the building. I think we just capture from right here. The commander's not currently in any danger. If this guy wants to come over and uncapture the building and let us get a free kill on him without doing any damage to us, that's 100% fine with me. Here we get our crit, and I think it probably is... Okay, this guy will be able to attack us there, but we have the defense bonus and everything. That's not bad. Get a massive 217% damage. It's actually, yeah, let's have a quick look at the codex, the damage matrix. Yeah, literally can't do damage to air units. Whatever that thing is, it's an air unit. Can only do damage to one type of water unit. Alright, I gotta pay a lot more attention to the codex. You just barely don't have the movement to capture this thing, but we'll move into that area. And Battle Pup. What am I doing with you? I don't want to expose you to the knight. He's probably just going to run over and take a free shot on the swordsman, and I'm actually like 100% fine with that. What I kind of want to do with the dog is try to keep it in an area where it potentially can run over and harass that archer once the archer gets into range. And I mean, he'll be good against the swordsman too. Do I just want to buy another alchemist? We probably have enough alchemists, is my feeling. They're going to be buying more flying units, but they can't produce them crazy fast. I guess we're going to take some damage from this dog over here. What does their overall damage matrix look like? So they're pretty good against archers. Really bad against horses. Pretty good against ground units in general, though. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind buying another one of these, and then that'll be the only unit we buy this turn. I need to get a hold of a little bit more territory. Okay, I think we're good. Alright, the knight went this way instead. Is this gonna be a kill? Yeah, it totally is. Well, glad I bought the extra alchemist. I don't know why I'm looking at the knight and thinking, well, he'll go this way, but we have to make sure we're checking all of the options. This is great. Yeah, that unit effectively doing nothing is awesome. So our alchemist wipes him out. We gotta worry about this knight a little bit, but like the ballista has range on him. Doesn't do a huge amount of damage. Commander will do pretty good work. Unfortunately, I can't move. It's a little bit awkward for us to be standing here, because if the knight does survive the turn, it's going to be a problem. But I think we really want to get rid of this thing.
What?
This is impossible! How are you doing this? It does seem kind of crazy that we're shooting lightning at them. I get that. I get where she's coming from. I'm going to mash you into a pulp! Alright, so this is their own alchemist, I'm assuming? Yeah. So in general, pretty good against ground units. Not really a huge concern for us, I suppose. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Just wipe that dog out. The ballista hits the knight. We're going to have to put a couple of units together on that knight. You know, I managed to just not click in the square. I want to click on just a shocking amount. Alright, I think we'll go with the hero first.
Brace yourself.
This is going to lead to the hero taking a little bit more damage and us probably not killing the knight still, but it will mean the swordsman is alive enough to distract somebody for a whole turn. In theory, the AI probably should ignore our units when they're at very low health. It doesn't seem like that actually happens, but it's what they should be doing. Alright, here we have a nice easy capture. And the swordsman is not going to be able to take it back. This thing doesn't quite have the reach either. Okay, so that's pretty good for us. If I move up that far, we're going to get hit with the archer. I don't love that. This guy currently is not a danger to any of our actual units. Let's just stay out of his range. He can't target this square either. Do I want to save up to bring in my own ranger? Or maybe even my own knight to just push along the top? Actually, I kind of think that's where I'm at. I want a knight. So right now we have 400 gold coming in. It's not possible for this thing to disrupt that, so we could hire one swordsman this turn and still have the knight. Just somebody to help recapture buildings and stuff. Their knight is too weak to actually do anything. Their alchemist is, or their flyer, yeah, it's going to do this, and then our alchemist is going to kill it trivially. He's a fine use of our commander's health, I think. I don't think this guy's going to capture the building. Yeah, and he's going to take a bunch of damage doing that. It seems really bad for them. So a lot of, probably a lot of getting good ratings on the missions is going to be about figuring out how to manipulate the enemy AI, right? Okay, so let's knock you out. We're going to have to learn these behaviors, like the things that they over-focus on, and this is a really good time for our Wargroove to come up, actually. Move our commander, or move our guy forward into the mountains like this. Take advantage of this very superior defensive position. We got to make sure we're putting effort into controlling this stuff matters. We got a pretty good crit, and it's still pretty bad damage. Can't quite get into the mountains adjacent to him, but we can just kill him. So I'm vulnerable to that archer. I have to be pretty careful about this. Because he's going to take the shot at the unit that's vulnerable to him, right? Ranger. I probably just want to go at this guy like this. We'll hit him with our swordsman. We'll hit him with... We'll run the dogs in. I'm not going to move the alchemist any closer. And in fact, I might even back up. I really don't want their rangers shooting at the alchemist. The alchemist is too expensive to take a bunch of bonus damage like that. You probably just have to roll forward the maximum distance. Do they all have the same spell animation, or do their alchemists cast a different spell? Okay, they do. I was kind of hoping they might have each faction might have a unique one. Alright, and now we can run forward and do this. And our swordsman is actually still healthy enough that he could theoretically survive a counterattack. But I'm not too worried about these two alchemists ending up a little bit injured, because we're probably going to heal next turn. You can just run along behind and capture that building next turn, probably. Alright, let's get ourselves a knight. It might be worthwhile to try to hire a trebuchet just to be a bigger threat to their buildings. It seems like we're doing pretty well here, though. Don't think this is over just because you beat up a few vampires. I still have a tower. I can just get more. Okay, yeah. This is a fine use of these brave pups. Absorbing that attack and letting our swordsman get in there to mess up that archer. Yeah, it seems like they're in a pretty rough position already. Okay, not quite in position to attack the building. Now, they're good against knights and not vulnerable to knights, so I do want to make sure the knight's going along the top route. Should probably just attack the spears, because everybody can kill a swordsman. The spearman is actually, okay at fighting back some of the time. This knockout... you have 5 moves? Okay. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to kill their spearmen with our swordsman. Or their swordsman with our swordsman. What I'd really like is to make sure that we have enough units that can run across here and deal damage. But I guess we'll use one of the alchemists to clear this guy out. Send this alchemist across to hit him, and then after we do this, we'll pop the heal. I'm offering their knights a pretty good target here. But I think it's a reasonable trade-off if it, first of all, gets us in on their commander, and secondly, gets us in a place where we can threaten their economy a little bit better.
I'm here to help. Healing aura.
And they're losing control of the top lane completely here. You know, if I'm skipping all of these, I suppose I could just turn them off entirely. So now that you're wounded, like how... Get the dog in here, the dog could survive, and then the battle pup is going to get killed on our turn if we do this attack, right? By their battle pup. Or by the archer. But I think I'm okay with that. I think really weakening this archer and then absorbing an attack is maybe the best thing this battle pup could do at this point. I don't think it was worth running forward and spending 300 gold healing him, because the heal's only for 20%, right? Yeah. Because he's not going to survive in any case when their battle pup comes after him, so I'm okay with that. And then I'm still just kind of playing real cautious with our alchemist until that archer's gone. Maybe I'm being too cautious, but I want to keep that alchemist alive. It's not easy to get a new one up to that position. And I might just hire a pair of battle pups this turn. So this guy might come over here with the intent of knocking out our building. He can't get it this turn, but he can get it soon. And we don't have an alchemist to knock him out, but we do have the ballista. Okay, that's not so bad. Ragnar's going to come forward and attack him for sure, though. Yeah, this turn is pretty harsh for us on the southern front. Interesting that Ragnar's just retreating. Not what I was expecting. Definitely just get rid of you. Ballista has pretty poor damage against the knight anyway. I think we can probably just use our hero for that. The alchemist does pretty poor damage here. We could just run our alchemist up this way. And that would allow us to start doing damage to the building. Yeah, the knight's not in range to do any damage yet, so let's do that. The alchemist is not going to be a particular help down here. Let's just wipe out their archer. And then we're going to take a lot of damage fighting this building, but that's just going to be that way no matter what. We gotta start wearing it down if we want to damage their economy. I think we might send the dogs down through the bottom just to help us control this area a little bit. I'm trying to figure out what I think happens here. They could just fight back with the knight on their turn, but they also could run the knight backward. 5-foot movement. The space only costs 2, so he does have the movement to get the alchemist up. The alchemist is not particularly effective against commanders. Yeah, 20 damage. But it's not, 20 damage is still significant. And they're going to kill this guy, and then they're going to be able to attack the commander from multiple spaces. So maybe a better play is to leave the commander in place there. They have no ranged units right now, so they'll only be able to attack me with one thing, and obviously I'll beat up whatever it is pretty badly. Have this guy fall back for a heal. Probably this way. And then run the battle pups down through the bottom to provide some support. We may end up falling back and fighting on the other side of the bridge to use it as a choke point while we push up through the top. I'm going to hold off a turn. We're going to buy a trebuchet. Yeah, I think we have a pretty controlled situation right now. due to the bottleneck and them not having any ranged units. Oh, they can totally stand in the... That's shallow water. It's this, this tile over here is too deep to stand in. These tiles are totally not. Alright, so I'm not going to get any kills this turn. He said we can attack them from behind, though, in a way that's going to be awkward for them to deal with. Especially that archer is not happy about us getting a knight in behind them, right? How much damage does an alchemist do to a building? 40%? So we can soften it up a little bit, and then the two alchemists, like if I have this guy attack from here, which... Oh no, this alchemist can reach that. Yeah, we have this guy soften it up with one more attack, and then that alchemist can just clear it himself, and the other alchemist can capture it. I like the way these guys work. The crits from defensible positions thing is really neat. Alright, so we get ourselves a little bit more money and damage their income. You can do quite a bit of damage to that guy. As a low defense tile. And then, oh, you just barely don't have enough movement to finish the job. Well, you know what? 20% swordsman, this is a good use of your life, I think. So what is the movement rate of this tile? Okay, it's not any harder to walk into than a forest. I think I'm going to have the commander fall back. Like, this guy walk up into the... You can get into the... No, you can only get this far. He has 4 movement. So yeah, have him move up to here. Or the commander fall back a little bit. The commander is going to go back and get healed. Alright, the dogs will be able to do some good work up here. And we'll get ourselves a trebuchet. With the intention of having it roll along this safer top path and threaten the buildings in their backfield. They're going to have to devote some effort to coming back here and reclaiming this thing. Reclaiming this upper area if they don't want the trebuchet to be a very serious threat. Unfortunately, we're talking about a very serious threat 3 turns from now. I probably screwed up our initial push too much to get a good rating on this mission. But at this point, we're just learning all of them. This is actually going to be a lot of damage. Yeah, they don't have any ranged units left, so I'm not, like, terrified, and they rolled into ballista crit range. Oof. 45, huh? Well, I think I'll still take that. Knights are tough. Yeah, we're going to be okay, but this heal is not going to be cheap. She's only at 60% of her groove. We have to be pretty careful about this dog ruining my trebuchet plan. Here's a question. Why are... The thing I don't know. Why are some of the movement spaces darker than others? Because it doesn't... Like, it's not always the spaces at the very end of your movement are darker. It's not that they're attackable, which is what I initially thought it was. It doesn't seem to be anything at all. Or maybe it's like... These spaces are outside of my movement range, or outside of my attack range. Like this is what a square looks like if you can both move to it and could attack a thing that's in it. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. These squares and that square are all outside of attack range. I guess that could be what it is. It's a weird reason to change the notation. But that space is not attackable. Okay. So now that you're so weak, I'm sure the dogs can handle it. Like, we gotta keep running the commander back. The dog is not 100% guaranteed to get that kill. But it's pretty likely. we would have to get maximum negative damage variance. Okay. Good stuff. I do hate attacking when I have to get lucky, but we do not always have an option of taking an attack that's guaranteed to work. We just barely can't reach here. I'm annoyed about the spearmen. So we are both effective against them and vulnerable to them. He really is the perfect unit for this moment. What I might do here is have the horse run into the perfectly safe tile over here. Have everybody just move into whatever tile they can get to that's closest, that's perfectly safe. Because I definitely want to be the one attacking. And I'm just going to have you reinforce pretty seriously here. We have 500 left. I'm going to buy my own ranger at the close barracks. Okay, so our hero's not in any danger at all. Their units aren't strong enough to kill the dog. Oh, except that they're totally in range of the dog. Well, that's bad, because that means now our ballista is vulnerable to attack. I think it's probably good for us that they used the swords instead of the dogs for this. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure why they did it that way. Because they had already done the math and figured out that this attack was real good. That's why. Alright, the southern front is collapsing a little bit, but they're just surrendering the top part of the map in a way that I think they really can't afford to do. So we're going to lose our ballista. There's no two ways about that. But we have defense in place here. I don't quite have the units to lay down a lethal attack on their fortress. We could probably take this barracks over the next 2 turns. I guess I want to get this right now. And because because our units have more move than theirs do, than their spearman does, they have to keep running him away from us.
This isn't over!
This doesn't mean anything. You haven't won yet. I mean, I have. It's going to take a bunch of turns for it to resolve, though, which is going to mean a bad rating. I have to get a little bit more aggressive. Okay. So we probably have this barracks next turn, or we're gonna be able to put a serious amount of damage onto that stronghold. So now they have a little bit more. They have a little bit more ability to threaten the upper road, though. Yeah, like I don't really want to end up there. We could just go the safest possible path, which I guess we'll do because the trebuchet can't defend itself any other way. We'll try to take over some high defense tiles. Unfortunately, we can only take over high defense tiles that have other high defense tiles in front of them. You really want to be like in this mountain, right? You have to full retreat. The commander needs to be the one who gets to take advantage of the health here. I mean, Ragna's exposing herself. We have a lot of troops in their backfield, and I think we gotta just buy bodies at this point. You know what? This is where the pikes come in. I'll buy a swordsman too, and then we'll buy another pike next turn. Because over here, we're not gonna have to move that much to fight with them. Okay. So what are we looking at in terms of damage to this building from the alchemists? Pretty bad. Man, you guys are all terrible at fighting spears. Alright, let's have the 2 alchemists take out the spearmen. The swordsman's pretty much just going to get his ass kicked. That's his job right now, is just get murdered over and over again. He probably will be able to do this. And even if he doesn't get the job done, he'll take so little damage on the counterattack, and this thing will be so weak that it won't matter much. Okay. Knight can run in here and start dealing damage to the stronghold. Like, they have to actually come back and fight us. With us owning this this fortress here, we can heal up really easily. So this will get this down to about 43%. And then we have 4 units nearby. They have to come back and fight. The dog can't actually reach us. The only unit that can do any damage to any of us is going to be this guy, and it's only going to be to this one alchemist. And granted, the alchemist is going to be pretty injured. They're going to be able to hire a unit over here next turn, but it might not be enough. If the archer moves into a position to try to be aggressive, we can damage it from here. I can't, even at full movement, I can't threaten the stronghold next turn. There's no sense in moving him any further forward. You can move to here and get a nice easy attack. And I guess the benefit of being on the high defense space that's behind a bunch of other high defense spaces is there's not a lot of counterattack available for them. If they want their alchemist to fight us, it's going to be 2 turns worth of movement. Let's move as far forward as we can. Well, hold on. I guess I'm okay being attacked by the alchemist, right? The damage it deals is fairly strong, actually. I'm going to hire another alchemist out of this... Well, I'm going to hire an alchemist out of this barracks. Because we probably have a little bit of time, but there's a flyer there, and I want to make sure we're ready to deal with it. What is your job going to be? He's actually not attackable where he is right now. I'll move him to here. Alright, I think they're in real bad shape here. So yeah, they gotta buy units at both of the barracks, just whatever they can afford, but I think... Between the knight and the other alchemist, who I think can reach it, I think we got it. The knight and the swordsman and the other alchemist. Because you have 5 move. 28% is going to get it down to 21. The alchemist deals 18, and yeah, we got it. They just left their backfield too open. And once again, a swordsman is the hero of the day. Okay. Oh my.
We did it!
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
But all those vampires, this is impossible. Sheesh, calm down, lady. She always like this? Well, shut it.
This isn't over!
I can't actually do that voice. That sounds painful. I'll come back, and when I do...
I'll crush you!
Okay, well that might be 2. Oh! Okay, that was 3 stars. I mean, I guess there's a lot of walking to do. I guess they kind of have to give you a lot of time there. Alright, well we got a couple of side missions. We've unlocked vampires in the Codex. What do I think? The farm mission, or the mission that looks like a farm, or the one that looks like a village? Let's check this one out. Ragna's blood is up and she's itching for a fight. Any enemy will do. Cherrystone forces!
Yeah!
Where is your commander? You mean Caesar? Why'd you tell her? Shut up! Trying to protect this Caesar? A coward, is he? Is he hiding from me? He's not hiding from you, he's just... For heaven's sake, shut up! Is he a man or a mouse? Actually, he's... Shh! Silence won't protect him!
Crush you!
Then I'll tear this Caesar apart. Caesar thinks he can hide from me? What a coward! I'll teach him that no one can hide from Ragnar. Destroy the enemy stronghold or defeat the mysterious Caesar. Okay, well that's a lot of distance. Some of these look kind of long. I was just curious if that sunken ship was actually anything. So what do I have access to? Pretty much everything we've seen so far. Can I get... No, there's no tower, so I can't get flying units at any point. Alright, well, let's just get moving then. Can she reach? She cannot reach that. That's a shame. Well, you know what? He's already going to be able to get over there. I'll have her run this way. I'm going to have my archers advancing toward the enemies. And... 300? Honestly, what we really need is just capturing right now. I'm just going to buy a dread sword. We'll just bank. Oh no, the mysterious and handsome Caesar! They're going to end up with a lot of money really quickly. There's a lot of buildings on their side. Grab this. Can you reach it? You cannot quite. Alright, we'll do it like this. So yeah, they're going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 villages really quickly. We're going to only have 4. Man, we're going to be way behind economically. We're going to have to be like super careful with our units. To that end, maybe I just need to buy dread swords for a little while. We don't really need a warlock. Dread knights will be very useful. But yeah, right now I'm just like trying to get stuff out there. We're gonna have to fight so many of their captured buildings that we're definitely gonna need trebuchets. What are my trebuchets called? No, they're just called trebuchets. Trebuchets, but with skeletons. I don't know if we actually need anybody to go with Ragnar, but I suppose I'll have a unit at least in that direction. So I think I want to buy a trebuchet like as early as possible. I'm just going to buy another sword right now. We're going to try to be really cautious with our units. Keep the trebuchet alive and it'll do a lot of good work for us. Okay, they're actually not trying very hard to get that economic advantage that I was afraid of. Definitely need this. We need this barracks, is what we need. Alright, so this guy's got a lot of range, but we can capture this while staying out of it. I can't quite get into the mountains with a single move. That's a shame. Alright. No reason that we have to be attackable here. So do I want the trebuchet right now, or do I want to wait until I have this position and buy it here? We'll be able to grab that next turn. But I really want the trebuchet behind a wall of units. I'm just going to buy it now. I want to be buying, like, spearmen at this barracks. Okay, that's fine with me. So we're going to be able to hit that knight with both of our archers. Maybe not. That's right. Archers are so slow. No, we totally can. Yeah, so he's dead then. He's dead and we get a really easy recapture on that building. Basically, all he did was cost me 100 money there. Pretty good. Actually, it's like a pretty fantastic outcome for us. And then we just recapture. Yeah, I'll send... You know, we're going to be able to hire people with her. Or on her side. She can do this alone. So So we're going to want to hire probably a couple of spears over here. It's probably not going to be terribly expensive, the beginning of us holding on to this. So I think we can afford to buy something real here. I'm even going to just buy us a Dread Knight. Alright, Caesar, what do you got? Let's see the remarkable tactical acumen of that dog brain. We do have to be a little careful of this ballista. Ragnar can run over here and just drop these guys and not actually be in a tremendous amount of danger after doing so. As much as I want to get that building, I think we probably ought to do this.
Take this!
Also, I do like her weird little Captain America thing. Is that shield magic, or is that just like something she learned to do? I'll hunt you down, Caesar! You won't escape, Ragnar! You are closer than you know. So, I think I actually want to roll this thing around the road this way. I know it's going to take us a little while longer. Maybe it's a good idea to put it on the bridge. I don't know. Right now, this thing can't quite attack here. I'm going to have archers in front, since we're not currently in any actual danger. Let's see how they reposition. I don't want to provide any actual... Oh, I guess I gave the ballista a shot on... Well, if it wants to stand still and just shoot that guy, I think that's actually fine. Yeah, that's okay. Just get a couple of spears to hold the front over here. And potentially capture some things. So do we need a wagon running from this? We probably do, right? Do we need the wagon running now? Or do I want to wait? I guess I'm going to get it now. Because the other thing I might want to buy is like an archer. And we can't afford that. Ragnar's going to take some damage here. The fact that they did this way suggests that they're not going to attack us with their archer. No, they totally are. Why did they do it in this order? Just kind of misplay. Ballista does get the shot. I totally did give it that. It's not really that dangerous though. Oh, they have a golem. They have a tree man. Well, shoot, I don't get to have those. Is the ballista good against those? I don't know what would be that thing for us. Okay. Ballista, actually extremely bad. Really, really bad against that. Trebuchet is pretty good though. So, what do we want to do? Do I want to actually set the trebuchet up just to make this bridge very difficult to traverse? Do I one-shot the archer? I do not. I get very close. Then I'll be in ballista range. We're going to have to figure out a plan for that ballista. Well, I'm not actually attackable by very many of their units. I'm just going to do this.
Get out of my way!
Let's reduce their ability to ranged attack us, because that's one of the more dangerous things they can do. You don't actually have a play except for capture. Hopefully this will be distracting to the enemy. It does seem like they have a lot of strong feelings about me having buildings. Hopefully this will lead them astray, lead them to folly. Ballistas are not actually very good against knights, right? Yeah, 25 damage. They don't have anything else in attack range. I'm going to put the knight forward here. Could try to cross the water, I guess. I'm going to have this guy push this way. I think we're going to stay on the road, right? Because the grass tiles are 2 points of movement for wheels, yeah. Yeah, screw that noise. And then the question of whether we want to advance down the road at all. Or down the bridge at all with these archers. I think I do. I think I'm going to have this guy run up front and move one of the archers in behind. We're just, we're offering a few more targets to the ballista, but I mean, we're going to have to get shot by it on our way over to it. There's no version of this where I get to just ignore its presence. Buy ourselves a dreadbow. Then I guess just wait for it. It's going to be able to move. Alright, so we can wait right here. Alright, this is where things are going to start to get a little ugly. We are now really meeting them for the first time. Well, I did let them have a crit on me, didn't I? Alright, well, that guy's effectively out of the battle. This is probably where we need to use Ragna, because we have to get rid of this swordsman. Right, that's pretty important. Ooh. What is my Wargroove? Leaps into the air, deals 65% of her normal damage, 65% of her full health damage to surrounding units. And surrounding units actually means a pretty large area. Okay. She can't kill that guy in one hit anyway. I kind of want to... Wow, she really doesn't do that much damage to the trebuchet. I'm surprised by that. Right, I know this is happening. We are, without question, getting rid of the archer. Another spearman is just running along behind. You're just running along behind. We're going to take a serious hit from this trebuchet in a way that we can't really prevent. Alright, I'm just going to have to do this. This is not what I want to be doing with this archer. I want to be moving forward. But we have to get the end of the bridge cleared. I'm losing my patience! Come out and face me! Alright, see, this is what I wanted. This is what I'm trying to set up here. These guys are super fast. Yeah, there's no version of this where my knight survives, unfortunately. But I am trading up here, economically. I'm going to do very poor damage. You'll be able to move 3 spaces forward to here. Okay, so you will be able to finish that guy off, actually. Or I could even do it from the water, but I want to get down the bridge. Let's have the knight run forward and do this thing. We gotta break these siege engines down. It's gotta happen. And you could finish the job. The archer could also fit. What it is this guy is killing one of these 2 targets and the archer's killing the other, and I don't think it matters much which we do, except that putting him here gets him killed for free by that archer. If we don't do that, that archer has to move before shooting. Oh, right, 3... For some reason I was thinking I was going to be in range here. Well, I don't think that thing at 11% health is actually much of a danger. So Ragna falls back and heals, probably. I really want to do this, but not having any damage, not having the damage to actually get this thing low really sucks. She probably has to just heal. Where they're running up on this thing. Well, I guess it can't attack me. Neither can any of these guys. The only thing that can attack me is that really low health ballista. You know what? No, we attack. It's from right here. I'm actually remarkably safe. And we gotta get some health off of these big ranged weapons of theirs. Alright, so you load up. Oh wow, I can actually ride really far forward. How much damage will you do to a wagon? 75? I don't love the idea of sacrificing the wagon, but I wonder if throwing the wagon up here might protect the knight, who I care about quite a bit more. I guess the knight's going to get crit by a spearman. He's potentially going to get shot by that archer. You know, I'm going to have the... Drop him off over here. I think the knight's gonna die anyway. Alright, now we can bring in a new knight. Start threatening their ranged weapons right away, and I don't know, just throw a spear out there, the wagon can come get him, and we'll figure out something to do with him. Yeah, because we have to... In order for this knight to stay alive, we'd have to survive an awful lot of stuff. Like, even if they hadn't chosen to attack him with the spearman crit, there's still the archer, plus, you know, a lot of stuff going on here. Caesar! Maybe he's not as weak as I expected.
Whatever!
Whatever. So what? There's more undead where that came from. That is true. Oh, this is wonderful. This is a complete waste of their trebuchet's turn. And by not running the wagon forward, we left this guy without anything to do except fight the knight, which means that the spearmen, yeah. In terms of turn efficiency, that was pretty good. We do a very small amount of damage to a bunch of different targets here. We've got to get this thing down. So he unfortunately has a ton of movement. We're going to have to use units to corral him so that we can bring the trebuchet close enough to kill him next turn. Well, I can just like run this guy to here and recapture this building very easily. And you don't quite have the movement to get adjacent to the position I'd like to attack the trebuchet from, but we can move this guy to here. Then have this guy move here and attack the trebuchet. Have Ragna fall back and reinforce. That'll finish this thing off. The ballista's so weak it's not doing any damage anymore. So now they really only have one very threatening unit in the area. Most of their stuff is far enough behind that they won't be much of a threat. I can safely move up to here. This guy could run over here and kill this thing, but he can't do anything more than that. And I might just have... Like, you have the attack from right here, right? Not a lot of damage. And then we just have the 40% skeletons stand in front of them. How much damage do you do to skeletons? Normal skeletons? 70. Okay. So, if we run this skeleton up, I'm just trying to create a situation where our archer is safe. If we run this skeleton up, it's still possible that they could have the spearman run forward and attack the skeleton, have the archer run up and attack that skeleton, then this guy's dead, and their castle golem actually does get to hit my archer. If they want to do that, I'm fine with it. That's a lot of their turns spent doing that one thing. And I'm going to have the knight try to swing around here. Attack them from a non-obvious angle. Okay, this archer doesn't really get to do much, but he can't safely move like at all. I guess he could, but he cannot move to here. So this is a sea tile. Tiles adjacent to the land we can walk in. Well, yeah, then I guess he's not doing anything. It's not even just the tiles adjacent to the land, it's only the ones that actually have beach drawn in them. Okay, you're just gonna wait right there. Alright, and that leaves us a little bit of money to play with. I might pick up a hound. And then maybe just save. Because we're already going to be running the wagon forward. Yeah, let's just save up and buy something stronger next turn. Ragna's got her Wargroove. Oh, he is in fact able to just walk all the way into that beach tile. Yep, see, when I was planning my unit's movement, I was like, that's water. People can't walk in water. Well, it's not great, but it's not the end of the world. We had already budgeted for them to... Oh, and then they went ahead and spent all the actions attacking a swordsman that doesn't matter anyway. So that turned out to be exactly what I thought was going to happen. Weird. And that's actually good for us, because that's going to mean that can heal us for way more. So yeah, they fixate on your commander and on your structures quite a bit. That's definitely a thing we can exploit. You probably just have to like move over. What I'd really love is for these guys to be able to switch places. We can have this guy move to here. Do it like this. What is the firing range on shield jump? Oh, it's considerable, actually. So I could do this. It'll kill the ballista. What does his movement range look like? He'll be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I land next to... Oh, he has 6 movement. I was going to say if I land here, I'll be safe. But if he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... So if we land here, we'll be safe. Yeah, I think I want to do this.
You're finished!
Here's a question. If my Wargroove kills an enemy, do I immediately get some groove charge? No, I do not. Definitely want to just be like really hammering at this guy. I would love it if he was all the way dead. Managing to do a really good job of staying away from my trebuchet. Just recapture this at 5 health. Trying to make sure we're providing some defensive screening for the trebuchet. So it looks like I could safely roll it to here this turn. Maybe have some range on some people. This spot is vulnerable to the archer, but the archer does only have 2 health. At 20%, I doubt he's going to do much. And then I think, like, the best self-defense move is probably just reduce this guy's health as much as possible. While he's standing on that minus defense tile, especially. I can do 6 whole percent to him. That's right, he does crits when he's below 40%. Well, not hitting him was probably not going to keep him from killing that archer. Just doing damage is broadly good. And then with 781 gold, I'm tempted to buy myself another archer, especially since this one's probably going to die. And then, yeah, we'll get another spear for the wagon. I actually don't think that the purchase of this big dude turned out to be worthwhile. I don't know how much it cost, but it must have been quite a lot, right? Okay, but here's that crazy fixation on the commander. It's good to attack the commander, but you gotta make sure you're doing it in a way that's not gonna leave your entire local area vulnerable to collapse. Because as it is now, like, not attacking my archer means that my archer kills their golem for free. And then we have a bunch of units nearby that can handle this dude. That's 1 space out of trebuchet range, right? Yeah, it sure is. Well, that's a shame. Probably just knock this guy out, right? Not like the best possible use for our trebuchet, but we don't want to roll it forward too much with that knight there. Okay, so that's under control. Can't quite get a crit here, which is very unfortunate. Okay, yeah, you can come down here and capture this. We can have the other spearman ride up and just hang out with his buddy there. So yeah, their entire position is collapsed here. I'd probably attack like this to keep you from moving in the moving to the right at all. I mean, yeah, like Ragnar's not in any serious danger here. Seems like they may have goofed. If we can keep this trebuchet alive, this can be the thing that breaks down their stronghold if they refuse to fight. And if they choose to fight, I think we're so numerically superior at this point. I think that probably will not work out very well for them. And by them, of course, I mean brave, noble, beautiful Caesar. I don't think we're in position to take control of this turn. We can march that swordsman toward it at least. Yeah, they're just like in open retreat. Well, I think we should probably take this big crit. Yeah, man, even our swordsmen look cool. It is good to get to play as this, the skeleton faction. Wish I could do it every time. Is a spear crit against the building? Yes, it is in fact pretty significant. But you know what? I should have attacked this. This is an error. I should have had her attack it from here, because now I'm not going to be able to capture it. I'm going to have to do it next turn. Because if she had attacked from this side, this spearman could have grabbed it from the top. You back on the road where you belong. Yeah, they're in really bad shape here, and I think a ballista was a terrible buy. I don't think having a ballista helps them out at all. I'm gonna just buy another trebuchet this turn. Just in case something terrible happens to the first one. Well, that doesn't seem like a very good... He hit me so gently that my health went back up a little bit afterward, it looked like. I think the problem here is that they're spending a lot on big, expensive units and then not actually getting any value out of them. Oh, that's not a crit. That's one space short. Well, that's a shame. Did I just back off and heal my knight? That might be a good idea. In fact, what are we going to do with Ragnar? I'm thinking what we want to do here is have this guy walk forward and capture this, and then have the knight heal up off of this building's health. Because this guy can't do anything else of value this turn. We might just keep the wagon, we're going to have the wagon roll somebody forward here instead of sending it back up to the other barracks. But you know what, here, this is something I know I'm doing for certain. Let's go ahead and just do that. Dog can almost finish this guy off. And it has very little incentive to do anything else. Okay, I will be just out of ballista range. The archer will be able to shoot me. Will Caesar... 2, 3, 4... Okay, right, he's the same as every other commander, he only has 4 men. Okay.
Fight me!
But obviously, I do have to be a little bit careful with her. Let's have you run all the way forward, because you can run to here. Yeah, and then we'll have 2 of the archers just move forward, and we'll have the other one get in the wagon, maybe? Have the wagon drive it to a position that's maybe a little bit more aggressive. Drop him off on his mountain over here. Well, something tells me they're going to have a hard time pressing through this. And part of the problem is that they just don't use the healing structures at all either. Because that means they get an expensive unit, and then if they don't make good use of it, it just dies. We just kill it through attrition over several turns. If the same thing were to happen to us, we have the ability to fall back and heal. Yep, Caesar's in full retreat. I get that. I think that's probably a pretty good play for him. A pretty good play in like a local sense. It's going to absolutely cause them to lose the game. So let's have you run forward. Where is he? I've searched everywhere. Show yourself. I'm doing a different voice for her every single time, and every one of them hurts. Let's just go and embarrass this building real fast. The dog can not really do a lot of damage here. Remarkably bad, actually. I'm trying to think, like, I'd love to shoot this ballista for a whole lot of damage, but we do have to deal with that archer. And everybody's just a little bit too far away. Oh no, you're not. You're exactly far enough away. This is the most adorable game of Darkstalkers I've ever seen. Okay, so now we want to start shooting at this thing. We want to try not to stand exactly 2 spaces away from it if we can help it. And there's no reprisal for these dogs, but they are going to get counter-dogged if we're not careful. Yeah, you know what? Just... no, fall back. Fall back and reinforce. That thing's just going to get to deal some damage. We're going to have to live with that reality. But Ragna's in its range right now. She really needs to heal up. I guess she can heal up off of this building after we capture it. I just need to put her in a position where she's not going to get attacked by too many things. Like right here is actually fine. She can get hit by the ballista, but that's it. It's not going to do that much damage to her. Sure, I'm not just getting my siege weapons shot by siege weapons. And then it's buying a Dread Knight, right? They should have rolled the wagon back a little bit, maybe? Yeah, that's not that impressive. Boy, commanders are really tough to be able to take a ballista bolt of that size to the face and not even really care about it. Nobody needs to see that happen to those dogs. You can just imagine that they all saw the error of their ways and now have run off to a nice farm upstate. They laugh and play, and certainly nobody shoots them with any kinds of ranged weapons or stabs them with a big lance. Alright, so we do have to deal with another one of these guys, which is always unfortunate. We cannot solve this problem just by running away. It's too late for that. Some of us are already in range. Let's fall back and take a small reinforce. You're fine, you're fine. I'm gonna have you back up a little bit. Yeah, backing up to here works. It sucks to move these things around off of the road. I'm just gonna have you move over. We'll do this with them. Okay. Economically, things are going very, very well. Do I even want to bother with that thing? I'm a little worried that I'm not going to be able to do any meaningful damage to it. I don't want to just like lose health on the skeleton for no reason. Yeah. I don't think we need to fight his economy anymore. I think we just need to go for the stronghold. You're pretty safe where you are. Okay, you're just waiting, you're just waiting. You can't back up to a position that matters. Okay. Honestly, that's probably fine. And then the wagon could, I don't know. Wagon could wait over here. We're more likely to need it on somebody over here. I don't know. Was that wagon worth the purchase? I'm not sure. Okay, this is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. See, this is them getting good value out of an expensive unit. And I think staying out of trebuchet range while doing it, right? Yeah, they're being pretty careful about that. Alright, we got Caesar with his thing up. We gotta be careful of that because it's a pretty good one. Not gonna be able to crit him with anybody, in fact. No sense in you staying out here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, yeah. I'm not allowed to path poorly and like go through the forest just to spend the extra movement point. What's he vulnerable to? Just some kind of dragon. Well, time to start doing things. So, and this unit moved through to here, not reinforce intentionally. Just start doing small amounts of damage and wearing it down. Ragnar can hit it pretty hard. If we were to go to here, I cannot shield jump in such a way that I hit it and the ballista. That's a shame. That was my big plan. Well, I think she just has to jump forward and hit it pretty hard.
I'm unstoppable!
They just have to reduce its health enough that throwing the 2 knights at it doesn't totally kill us. I guess let's have the knight that's lower take the larger amount of damage. It's less likely to suffer from reprisals from above, and then this is, with any luck, a kill. Okay. Alright, and now we're in really good shape again. Getting pretty close to their stronghold with all these trebuchets. I think that's going to be a real issue for them. Just reinforce you. I'm just gonna keep buying trebuchets. We're gonna roll trebuchets at their stronghold until their stronghold gives up. Oh, I can attack this one while standing next to Ragnar. That's why the number's higher. Well, yeah, we should probably do that. Because otherwise the skeleton does nothing of value this turn. Okay. I don't think our wagon's going to end up being relevant again. That seems like a very desperate play there. Like, please shoot at me instead of rolling the trebuchets any further forward. The trebuchets deal their crit at max range. Okay. We have that well in hand. Move him to here. Should be able to get a real easy couple of spear crits on this thing. Oh no, you can't. You can't move through to there because that space would cost you 2 points of movement. The 1 spear crit's good enough. So we want to be 5 tiles away from this thing. You want to be here. actually, we could be right there. Let one of the other guys stick to the road. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Position that horse is in is where the other trebuchet needs to go, and I think we've done it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's no way they survive 3 critical trebuchet hits, and they don't have the movement to stop me from doing that. I need to make sure somebody is standing between them and the trebuchet, just in case. So I can get a crit on here. You know, when the swordsmen have Ragnar around, they're actually okay. Not great, I would say, but totally okay. Yeah, there's not really even a damage penalty here. Okay. You're just headed for home. You are very unlikely to be used. They don't have any units within attack range of any of the trebuchets. Yep, and it turns out only 2 of them needed to survive. Well, this one was not that difficult. It was a little grander in scale than some of the other missions have been, but not actually that difficult. I win! But I still don't know who the heck Caesar is! And they fled before telling. I'm the greatest warrior that ever died! Ragna. Valder constructed you using the remnants of the finest warriors from throughout history. You boast all their resilience, their cunning, and especially their might. And what do you do with these gifts? You brawl with a dog. A dog?
What?
A dog? And technically he retreated, so he's still undefeated. He just, he had other things to do. He got distracted. He smelled anything at all? You know how dogs are. Apparently that is a 3-star number of turns. Maybe like the number of units that you defeat factors in or something? Because I felt like that was a lot of turns, but I guess it was a lot of distance to cover as well. Alright, well, hey, that was a couple of pretty successful missions. We're racking up the stars over here, which we will use to, I guess, buy some concept art later. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time on Monday for the next story mission and maybe a little bit of arcade mode. I might want to actually check it out. And we'll see you then.